How y'all feeling? Did we learn anything? Did we learn anything? What did we learn?
About the stash program and stacking the products.
Give me another program.
NACA.
One more.
Oh, God. Somebody else. One Plus Boston.
You notice I went to the right side. All right, next up, debt to mortgage. For the, if the panel could make your way to the stage, that would be great. Clap it up for them. Whitney Miller in the building, Jelani Lynch, and Jeremy Brandon.
Beautiful group of people up here. Muchas gracias. All right. Everybody, how you doing? I'm gonna stand up for a second. This group right here is powerful. Their expertise, how they show up, their years of experience, like this is a real good group. So I'm gonna allow you, Miss Whitney Miller, to introduce yourself.
Can you hear me?
There it is.
So my name is Whitney, and my primary focus is to help melanated families save their wealth, make the money they deserve, and I call myself your financial ribcage. So the same way your
Yeah, thank you. You deserve that.
So the same way the rib cage in your body holds your body together and all your organs so you can function, I make sure your money moves where it needs to go so you can buy real estate, so you can buy your time back and create financial freedom for you and your family.
What's up, everybody?
There's that bass.
Y'all look good, by the way. My name is Jelani Lynch. I'm an investor, credit expert, and mentor. I've been in the field for around 7 years now. My focus is helping people, right? Helping people that look like me break the mental barriers that surround credit, right?
Yeah, and these two together, again, these are important ingredients as you are buying your third property, your investment, right, your first home, et cetera. And these two are a great combo. So let's get straight into it. Mr. Jelani, questions for you. What credit score do you actually need to have to be attractive and be taken seriously to a lender today?
Okay, well, obviously, of course, the higher the better, right? But as you guys already heard, there are different programs, right? There's different programs that you can utilize to purchase a property. So your credit score can vary, but of course, the higher the better. If you were looking at FHA, you're looking in between 580 and I think like 600. You can still qualify, right? But like I said, the higher the better. If you're looking for conventional loans, they want your credit a little higher. The higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate is going to be, the less you pay over the time period of that loan, right? So of course, the higher the better. So I think everyone should always shoot for getting their credit in the most optimal position possible, right? So.
Right. And what would you consider is, you said, a good credit score? What is a good credit score?
I mean,
and from a lender's perspective.
I mean, from a lender's perspective, a good credit score is anything I say above 720, right? 720 and above, a lender's looking at you, drooling like, yo, this is the one, I got one. So I think that's important for you to have. Anything above a 720, you're looking at a good rate, and you're just in a good position overall.
Are there any entrepreneurs in here? Damn, that's what I'm talking. Yo, give it up for the entrepreneurs in the building. Give it up for the entrepreneurs now, for real. It's work. It is no joke. But why, if you're going to do it for someone else's business, why not do it for your own? That's dope. I love the fact that. So, credit score, before we move on to the next question, is so important because if your credit score is 740 or higher, business lending is easy. I'm talking about you can apply and get a line of credit, 50 grand, no docs. No docs. This year, you're gonna make 400,000. You're gonna write. That's your ambition. You gonna make 400,000. You got great credit. They're like, yo, say no more. You got anything below? They need to see things. So just keep that in mind. Like your credit score is way more important than we were ever taught, or than is emphasized. The wealthy use their credit score. They don't use their money. They use their credit score to use your money so they can go make money. That's it. All right, we're gonna move to number 2. What are people doing today? This is for you, Whitney. Actually, for both of you guys. What are people doing right now that is silently killing their chances to qualify, or is actually hurting them right now with their credit?
So everything you're doing is wrong, believe it or not.
Pick it up more.
Number one, you listen to social media too much. So I know they just said 720, 740. You don't have to really wait that long. Get to a 680 and the doors will still open. The thing that we don't understand is anything after a 720, so a lot of people chase 800 credit scores. You get the same thing the 720 guy. Same rates, same offers. So just get to a 680 and you can get in the door and then work your way to a 720. As black and brown people, most don't know how to read a credit report. If you know how to read a credit report, you know what the lenders are looking for. And you are prepared before you even enter the building to have the conversation. And then we also feel like we need to co-sign for everybody. I'm just gonna give this person a startup and a good chance. No, you gotta put yourself there first. So stop co-signing for people. Learn to read credit report. Understanding consumer law will save a lot of the headaches you have. There is a code, which is a legal tax code, 15 USC 1681. If you can fully read that, and it's very easy, my 6-year-old at the time could read that and understand it. Anything negative on your credit report, you can remove it yourself. You don't have to look and say, I gotta wait for 2 years. Break that code down, send those dispute letters in using that law, and you can get to the credit score you need. And stop telling lenders all y'all business. They only care what's on that consumer report. So you don't need to go out and start telling them that you gotta take care of your mom and you're doing it. That doesn't matter. Learn what you need to qualify and only focus on that.
That part. So in order to help yourself, we was talking earlier before the show started, understanding, getting clarity on what is it that they look for. So you can strategically tell them what they need to hear, meaning without all the extra stuff that she just shared. Right?
I'm gonna break it down for y'all, right? Amex loves Experian. So why y'all be focused on Equifax and TransUnion? Get an Experian report to a 680. Make sure Experian report has less than 4 inquiries. Make sure there's no late payments within the last 6 to 12 months, and you will be in Amex, which means you now have those same $50,000 loans, 0% interest, and you can get up to 4 cards off that one Amex company. So if you ask the questions to the banks, don't be afraid to pick your phone up and say, hey, what are your underwriting requirements? What are the data points you're looking for? And they will tell you, we need a 680 plus. We only pull from Experian in the Massachusetts area. We consider income. So there's a thing called stated income, which means you tell them how much you make. I'm not telling nobody to lie. But if you're an entrepreneur,
But if you know you are committed to making a certain amount this year, you put
if
your
you're an
ambition.
entrepreneur, for instance, everybody's goal at minimum as an entrepreneur is to make 100,000. Why won't you give yourself more confidence and credit and say, I'm trying to make 250 this year? That's stated income.
Enough said. They missed that. They missed it. Mr.
So, honestly, so it's really just about learning the game of credit, right? And understanding what it was put in place for. Credit was put in place in this country to help people get ahead, right? To help consumers get ahead, for you to be able to access capital, for you to be able to have the right amount of capital so you can start your business, so you can invest in yourself properly, right? When you learn that game, when you understand that that's really the first step, right? Using OPM, other people's money, you will put yourself in the optimal position, right? I tell people all the time, we have to, like I said, break the mental barriers that surround credit. When I talk to people about credit, it's always, some people, like she said, when they want to get above a 720 for vanity purposes, right? You need to be moving and shaking way before that. It's all about proper preparation. You want to prep your file. You want to make sure that you're understanding the game. Online right now, there's a ton of different resources, a ton of different people teaching. Learn the game for yourself so you don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about letting credit, right, be that hindrance for you to move forward, right? So you want to understand the game from a holistic standpoint. Understand that is a start of everything. You being able to borrow money is a start of everything, whether that be starting a business, whether that be getting a home, whether that be purchasing a car. You having buying power and you being able to utilize other people's capital is a start of everything. And almost every big business in America has started like that, right? OPM, other people's money.
Is a lot. We can go on forever about this, but just know this is hitting home. This is where it is, your credit. All right, perfect. Ms. Whitney, for you. We're gonna go to this one. So student loans are a big one. Can you have student loan debt and still qualify for a mortgage? And how does that math work?
You can absolutely have student loan debt. So again, understanding your credit report, the closest thing to a mortgage is a student loan. So if you've been maintaining student loans, you can maintain a mortgage. That's how a lender will look at you. There are tons of resources right now, and a lot of people's like, I can't buy because I gotta pay my student loans off. Go get them forgiven. You all will allow an application to stop you from financial freedom. I've been helping people wipe away student loans all year. $150,000 gone because they fill out an application.
That part, yeah. Get that up. Get that some energy.
Not only have they gotten them forgiven, they got money back that they paid into those student loans. So y'all were looking for money to save for a down payment, but if you file an application, the PSLF student loan forgiveness application, you will get your loans removed, and you could possibly get that $30,000 you're looking to qualify as your down payment assistance. So when it comes to your student loans, put them in a payment plan, even if it's $0. You can go on your student loan, studentaid.gov, and tell them what your income is so you can get a low payment of $50. Now, the lenders are in the room, so they might argue this. But if you have a $50 payment, they can't argue with what your debt to income is. You're obligated to pay $50, which means they have to take that $50 and count that as your debt. But if you don't, depending on the lender, they'll take 0.5 of your loan balance or 1%, which is gonna put you at a 500 plus mortgage payment, and that's gonna probably disqualify you from that mortgage. So take advantage of the student loans. A lot of y'all went to trade school. Half the trade schools that y'all went to for plumbing and HVAC, them schools have been shut down, which means all you got to do is fill out that borrower's defense. How are you going to accreditate me if you close? I have nobody to represent. That I even went there. So the loans can get forgiven. So you can clear your report. Yesterday I had a consult with someone. They had 9 late payments on their student loan during COVID. That was a federal law that you cannot report late payments during COVID. That's $9,000 because I had to tell them, if you understand that consumer law, 15 U.S. Code 1681, you can't break a federal law, right? When you break a law outside, y'all go to jail, right? So now there's 9 late payments reporting on 3 different reports. So 9 times 3 is what? 27? So now they sent a letter through CFPB. They're about to get $27,000 back, for the student loans and Experian Equifax breaking the law. So make them pay for their damages.
Now, if that overwhelmed any of you, it shouldn't. You just need to know the resource that did the work, that knows the stuff that you need to get it taken care of. That's it. Don't let it overwhelm you. There's clearly a resource up here that know how to get rid of your stuff. We got some resources.
Y'all don't even need me, right? When y'all arguing with y'all spouse, y'all be dramatic. And I've been telling people all day, y'all are dramatic when y'all talking about you can't call me, right? That same way y'all be dramatic when you can't find somebody like, oh my God, I've been calling you. Do that with that credit bureau. Because there's no statute of limitation on disrespect. And there's no statute of limitation on identity theft. So go get your money.
Boom. Boom. Damn, it's heating up. All right. Whew. All right, I'm about to go into another hot topic. We're going to talk about tax strategies. So what are some tax strategies that homeowners need to know before they close? And how do what are people leaving on the table?
How many entrepreneurs are in here? How many people work a W-2 job? Those that work a W-2 job, y'all be cooking for y'all families' baby showers and stuff? They be paying y'all? Y'all be doing things on the side and getting money for it, right? But y'all scared to put that on your taxes. If you put that on your taxes, you become an entrepreneur, which means you now take advantage of the same codes we take advantage of. The tax code was designed for entrepreneurs and investors. That's why we get the best tax break. And I know everybody hates Trump, right? And everybody was complaining, he only paid $700 in taxes. We all do. That's the gag. So everybody you know who has a business, we all do, especially if we're doing it right, because the tax code was designed for us. A lot of people with W-2 jobs, I'll start with you, you think that you can't tax plan because you only clock in to go to work for somebody else. That is wrong. Before I started my entrepreneur journey, before I had all my kids, I was getting $18,000 refunds because I understood how to read a tax code. So if you're an entrepreneur, right, you first understand what a tax deduction is versus a tax credit. As an entrepreneur, you can take all your personal expenses and shift them to your business expenses, because the same phone you use, you talk to your mom, your brother, your friends, but you also run your business on that phone, but you don't write it off. The same car y'all drive in, you also use that to bring your marketing materials and everything, but you don't write it off. A lot of y'all have homes already and looking to get your next home, but then you don't understand how to read a tax return either or ask the right questions, and y'all have tenants in your house but don't depreciate your house. A lot of people are like, oh, I need to have all these kids to have a great tax return. No, you need something that you can depreciate, a car or an asset, right? Because that will give you tenfold of what you're going to get for your kids. So I know y'all love y'all kids, but earned income credit is nothing when it comes to depreciation.
Sheesh. I keep telling y'all, man, it was a hot panels up here. This is hot. All right, Mr. Jelani, we're gonna switch over to you.
Absolutely.
So you coach and mentor a lot of high achievers, right? Rather as an entrepreneur, rather you're a manager at a company, high achievers, right? That's really your bread. So how do you take someone with bad credit or decisions they made before and they need to rebuild their portfolio? How do you take them from that situation to being lender ready, cleaned up?
Absolutely. So first, what I do, like I said, we have to change the mindset around credit first, right? We have to change the mindset around credit. People have to understand their power as a consumer, right? As an American citizen, you have to understand your power first. Like I said, a lot of people are scared to go to war with Experian, scared to go to war with TransUnion and Equifax. These are nobody. These are just companies, right? You have power over your credit report. You have power over how you're perceived, right, on paper, and you can change that. You have to understand that your credit can always be rebuilt, repaired, and restored, right? It can always be repaired, rebuilt, and restored no matter where you're starting from. No matter if you're starting from a bankruptcy, no matter if you're starting with student loan, whatever it is on your credit report that is negative can be taken off and be removed, and you can start fresh. Once we narrow that down, then we can start to get to work. Right? Then we can start to get to work. We have to analyze your credit report. You pull your credit report for free from annualcreditreport.com. You don't have to pay for that. You get that free one time a year, right? Once you do that, you analyze your credit report. You look at the most important factor of your credit report is your payment history, right? How good are you with payments, right? How good are you with payments? The next thing after your payment history, after we know that you can pay on time, we have to look at your utilization. Right, that's another strong suit. Usually when people come to me and they tell me that they have bad credit, I always look at their credit cards that they already have open. If they're overutilized, then automatically I tell them, hey, you don't have to pay me anything. Just go pay down your credit report and your score is gonna shoot up, right? I'm not really into taking people's money. I wanna help people. So I let people know right out the gate, this is all you need to do. If you need me, okay, cool, but if you don't, I'm gonna give you the strategy to just help you get across the board, right? Then after that, you wanna look at the amount of inquiries you have. Are you dinging your credit all over the place? No? Good. Next, you're gonna be looking at your credit mix. Do you have a good mixture of credit? There's a ton of people that come to me and they say, hey, I have a 750 or 800 credit score, but I only see one credit card, right? Having one credit card is not a strong credit profile. There's a difference between having a strong credit score and a strong credit profile. You wanna have a strong credit profile, which means you have a strong mix of loans, right? And revolving lines, which is, lines of credit or credit cards, right? So, and then also we look at—
Give them some example of loan products that they can have on it as a mix.
Absolutely. So you can have secure loans, you can have cars, you can have mortgages, whatever it looks like, even student loans, right? Student loans help people a lot. There are people that come to me all the time like, hey, I want to remove my student loans off my credit report, but you got your student loans when you were 18 years old, when you were 19 years old. That is what? The length of history. That could be the strongest factor reporting on your credit report. So I've seen people who want their student loans removed, and if they do get those loans removed, their credit score can actually drop, right? So you want to keep your oldest accounts, if they're in good standing, of course, on your credit report, right? So there's a lot of factors that go into it, but those are just the main 5 factors that you want to look at when you're trying to analyze and understand your credit report. And that's what we help and we walk clients through, just understanding that process from start to finish. So like I said, so we can break the mental barriers surrounding credit.
That's dope. That's dope. So we have more questions, but I want to open it up for you all because there's been a lot provided, right? And I'm sure there's some curiosity, some questions. Are there questions right now that we got a question over there in the corner? Oh, that's not a question. That was clarity. Thank you. All right, my man, say your name and then your question. Stand up too.
My name's Clayton. You brought up student loan forgiveness getting removed, but then you just said if you get them removed, it hurts your credit score. So what's the balance between the both?
So I didn't say get them removed. I said get the amount, the debt removed.
Okay.
So there's different from removing it on paper. So anything negative on your credit, if you remove it, so collections. We could remove your collections all day, but you still owe them people that money. So you want to go to the source, studentaid.gov. So you may have Mohilia, Nelnet, and you don't want to pay them no more. So apply for the student loan forgiveness, and you don't have to pay them no more. Then when you look at your credit report, once you're approved for student loan forgiveness, it will zero out all your balance, but that age still remains there. So you have an 18-year-old student loans. At one point, it was $150,000. You applied for student loan forgiveness. Now it's a $0 balance as if you paid them $150,000, and you didn't. And that age is still there, which means your score is still high because it looks like you've still been maintaining this account. So the only thing you want to remove is negative items, late payments, collections, charge-offs. But you got to be careful with what you move and how you move it.
Love it. Can you give it up for this panelist, please? Let's give it up and give it some energy. That was great. Jelani, thank you, man, brother. Great gems. Appreciate you. Whitney, great work. Great gems. Appreciate you. Back to the host.